Couple things for you today. Just wanted to see how you felt like you came through the off-season stuff from a physical standpoint, and particularly the toe. Do you see any problems moving forward when camp starts? And Brad, I'll have a second question as well.
No, I don't. I don't see any problems moving forward. Obviously, I want to continue with the rehab, continue to work on those things to strengthen it and do all that different type of stuff. But I feel like had a good OTAs, a good mini camp. I was able to move around, scramble around, and do the things that I needed to do.
Okay. And I want to go back to something you said right after the Super Bowl. You talked about how disappointed you were and how that's going to be a loss that maybe motivates you the rest of your career. And now that you had a little time since that game, I want to revisit that. Do you still feel that way, or maybe was that the emotions talking? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, when you get beat like that and on a stage like that, you're going to feel like that at all times when it's kind of talked about. So for me, I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen again, no matter what game it is.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Hey, Patrick, I know when Tyron signed, you guys had this phone conversation where you had said, just, you take care of the defense. As far as what you guys are building, and I know you got the long-term contract, just how much are you rooting for him to be in Kansas City for a rather long time?
Yeah, I mean, he's such a great leader on this team. And I mean, obviously a special football player. You want him to be here for the long run. And you can tell that Chiefs Kingdom really is behind him as the leader of that defense and a leader on this team. So I definitely want him to be here as long as he can and as long as I'm here.
Let's go next to Mick Schaefer. Go ahead, Mick.
Hi, Patrick. What's it like being on the cover of Madden again, this time with Tom? And I was wondering if you guys swapped Super Bowl stories when you were at that shoot.
Yeah, wasn't a lot to talk about the actual Super Bowl, but I mean, it's obviously an honor to be back on the cover of Madden again. I mean, it's something that you look up to as a kid, as you want to be on the cover. And for me, it's the second time to be on that thing. I didn't even know you could be on it a second time. And so to be with a guy like Tom and be able to just kind of talk to him and get advice from him whenever we're at the shooting the photos and stuff like that. It's always a good deal. He's a great dude, and he's willing to give advice. So I mean, it's cool. Just hopefully next time we can beat them, and they're not beating me when I'm going to do the shoot with them.
Let's go next to Miss Karen Kornacki. Go ahead, Karen.
Hi, Patrick.
How you doing?
Good. Just wondered, what do you plan to do from here until training camp to kind of keep sharp, to keep the toe healthy? Do you have kind of a plan for physicalness and a plan to get away from the game and get a break before camp?
Yeah, Brittany and Jackson have my schedule down to date. They ask me a question every single day about what dates we're doing what, and so I have a couple vacations in there. I'm going out to Tahoe for the golf tournament, but then after that, I'll be back in Texas, and I'll be training with Bobby Stroop, my trainer, and he's talked to Rick and he's talked to Julie. And really got a good game plan of how we're going to continue the rehab, but at the same time making sure that I'm physically ready to go whenever training camp goes, and I have no limitations at all.
Looks like we got 4 more hands. We'll go right down the line, starting with Harold. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Patrick. Hope you're doing well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire mentioned how you guys are trying to get the ball around, spread the ball around a little bit more, especially out of the back. I just want to know, through these OTAs and the mini camp, how you guys try to evolve the offense and maybe implement some new stuff, because Andy Reid always talks about pat plays, and how you guys are trying to get that going forward, because this is the time to experiment with it.
Yeah, we always are implementing new stuff, adding new stuff to the offense, trying out different things here and there. And then I think you said it, I mean, we have these running backs that can catch the ball so well in the backfield, so why not utilize them? And with Clyde and Jared McKinnon, Darryl, Darwin, all these guys, they're really good at running and catching the ball and running routes in space. And so using them, as well as using tight ends and using the receivers, obviously, that are so special. So I think you'll see a wide variety of stuff that we come into the season with, and that's what you want to be with a great offense.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, I know that, normally during the off season, the film guys will, put up a cut up of like maybe your 20 ZNs throws that you made last year and things like that for you to go through. When you're going through that film review and looking at that, what were kind of the takeaways that you saw, and what are you learned from that you're applying this season?
Yeah, you every time you watch that, you learn and you realize all the different stuff that you left out there on the field and how you could have changed games with different completions. and just taking what's there or going for attacking at the right moments. And so I think the best thing about it is you learn from your mistakes, and then you try to improve those things the next year. And so we had a great offense this last year, but I think we can still get substantially better if we continue to evolve, and I continue to get better and better with my decision making.
The last two, Sarin and then Todd. Go ahead, Sarin.
And I'll have a quick follow-up, Brad. Patrick, the third receiver spot, right, with Sammy leaving. I know there's familiar faces that are guys that are there, but just your first impression of the depth and if anyone's standing out as a guy to maybe grab that role.
No, I mean, I think a lot of guys had a really good OTAs and a really good mini camp. I mean, Nicole, D-Rob, Tyreek, Gary, Kemp, really a lot of these guys, they really went out there and competed. They did a great job, and the young guys are coming in with Callaway and Powell, and they're learning how we practice and how we really get after it. And I feel like we have a good group of guys, and guys like Pringle and all these guys are practicing super hard. They're making plays at practice every single day, and I have the ultimate trust in them that no matter who's in the game, we're going to make some plays happen.
And then I know Tyron gave you a kind of a breakdown of what he thought was going on, looking at you and what was going on that side of the ball. I'm curious, what I know you're not breaking down tape and scouting Chris Jones over at defensive end, but just kind of your impression about what it looks like and maybe how successful that'll be, or what challenges that might prevent for other offenses.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're on my team. All the different coverages and blitzes, and then just the D line and how they're able to rush. And Tyron's like at the line of scrimmage, and then he's in the deep third, and he's in the middle of the field. It's a very, very complex defense to go against, and it's going to make us better because when you have that many playmakers that can move around and have that good of a scheme, it's gonna challenge us every single day, which will make us better in the long run.
Last, Todd Lebo. Go, Todd.
Hey, Patrick, I know the roster can still change a little bit because it's ever changing in the NFL, but you got a big bunch of new offensive linemen there for you. What are your thoughts from what you've seen so far and how they've kind of meshed together? And what are your, where's the limit for these guys on what they can get done in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're super talented. I mean, you know that from the places that they've been. All of them, we have a lot of depth, a lot of guys that can just kind of fill in here and there, and we have guys that can play, which is always good. I think the biggest thing is if you didn't know and you just walked into this locker room and saw those guys, you would think they grew up together. The chemistry that they've built already is tremendous. I mean, that it seems like they're all best friends. They've known each other forever. And whenever you look at great offensive lines, I feel like you have to have that type of aspect of guys that are going to put complete trust in each other, and they're going to go out there and get after it every single play.
Patrick, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.